It is inevitable, Laura, and yes, it is a tough conversation. And at Pathways, we're a hometown resource for you to help you navigate that, to get to the right path. So that your parents can have a safe and happy life for the rest of their life.
Right.
And hopefully a very long life.
We do see people are living longer, and that's part of what has led us to this sort of predicament for some people trying to decide how they're going to live out their senior years. There are a lot of options out there, right? There are lots of options, and it's complicated.
You'd think it's as simple as, oh, I'm going to have in-home care. Well, and that may work fine for you, and it depends on, how long and how many hours and how much money there is to do some of these things. Or you may think you've picked an assisted living, and then you find out, well, there's something about that. Maybe I have a pet and they don't allow pets, and you didn't know that. And that sounds like something simple, but it gets to be complicated when you look at all of the different pricing plans, all of the different options in terms of types of apartments. And then, of course, one thing we're seeing a lot of is we're seeing a lot of dementia, a lot of Alzheimer's. When the walk happened this weekend, I'm always glad to see that happen, because that's a whole nother level of care.
Yeah, and that's really hard, I know, for people, for caregivers.
Yes.
And when you talk about that. Okay, so you have some advice for us. So families can start planning, because now is the time to really be thinking about that.
Yes, the ideal world is they plan before there's an issue.
Right.
So getting the family together, and we would recommend having everybody in the same room. Not somebody, if you have to, somebody lives in California, maybe they have to be on the phone. But if there's a time, maybe during the holidays, that they can get together and listen to their parents. I think the important thing is, and I'm kind of in that parent mode myself, is that to continue to respect your parents' wishes, what they want to have their life be like, but just let them know you're there because you want it to be good and you want to help them.
Right. Exercising patience. I'm glad you talked about staying respectful of your parents, because I know it can get frustrating.
It can,
and
yes.
Tempers may flare, but they're still your mom and dad.
That's right. And yet you mentioned something that's very important, and I experienced this particularly with my mother. There had to be a role reversal. Mm-hmm. She had herself in a dangerous situation, and I had to step in, and it's hard. But when you do it and you see the good that comes of it, it's worth it.
It is worth it. Reviewing finances, that's another piece of advice that you have for us. We know this can get expensive.
It can get very expensive, and it's a touchy subject. That's my money. And I've been in control of that money. But I think you approach that with, we just need to know what resources you have. Is your home paid for? Do you have long-term care insurance? This is expensive. If you don't have the resources, then we need to figure out how to get the resources and how to make the care financially feasible for you.
And that might be, now we're thinking about making, about saving now, even in your 20s, 30s, 40s, thinking about that.
Oh, absolutely. I had one lady say to me, I just didn't think I would live to be this old. I don't have anything. Well, what you need to do is that inevitable thing that you may be living to be. We hear every now and then of somebody turning 100 years old. And they're living a good life at age 100 years old. So, yeah, planning ahead and saving early on is a really wise thing to do.
So that was a good chance to make that point. So you're going to meet together as a family, start having these conversations, reviewing your finances, then you say create that care plan.
Yes. And Pathways, we love to help people do that. Creating a plan. That plan is like all plans, is a living, breathing thing. It changes based on needs and based on life events. But if you can have a plan and constantly be reviewing that plan, revisiting with your parents, about how their life is changing, how their needs may be changing, and then alter the plan accordingly. And then when the day comes that a decision has to be made, you have everything right at your fingertips to make the right decisions. And that's a great way to do it.
It is. All right. Good to see you, Mary. We're going to give your information. Of course, Pathways can help connect people with who they need to talk to.
Yes.
To create these plans. So for more information on Pathways, Senior Care Advisors, you can go online. The website is pathwayssca.com, or you can call them 901-1878.